Welcome. Today we look at the praise perspective, nature's dark reality. The numbers don't lie. Let's start with something uncomfortable, the math of suffering. Every single day, an estimated 150 billion animals live and die in the wild. Not over their lifespans, that's how many exist right now. And here's the thing, most don't die of old age. A field mouse has a 90% chance of being eaten alive within its first year. A baby sea turtle, only 1 in 1,000 makes it to adulthood. Most are devoured before they ever taste the ocean. Brian Tomasic, a researcher studying wild animal suffering, calculated that trillions of fish are eaten alive by other fish annually. Trillions, each one experiencing panic as teeth tear into flesh. This isn't cruelty, it's Tuesday in the natural world. The philosophers speak for centuries. Thinkers have stared into this abyss. David Benatar, the philosopher behind antinatalism, argues in The Human Predicament that coming into existence is always a harm because sentient life guarantees suffering, while natal existence guarantees nothing bad at all. He asks, is a universe filled with consciousness really better than one without it? Arthur Schopenhauer went even darker. In The World as Will and Representation, he wrote that life is essentially suffering because we're driven by endless, unfulfillable desires. He saw nature not as beautiful, but as a battlefield of tortured beings. His conclusion, the will to live itself is the source of all misery. And here's Schopenhauer's most chilling observation. Optimism is a bitter mockery of human suffering. When we romanticize nature, we're looking away from the screaming. Evolution's indifference. Evolution doesn't care about happiness. It cares about one thing, reproduction. Richard Dawkins explained this in The Selfish Gene. We're all just vehicles for DNA replication. If suffering helps, genes spread. Suffering is what gets selected. Pain is useful. Fear keeps prey alert. Terror motivates escape. But here's the cruel irony. Evolution created consciousness, the ability to experience without any concern for whether that experience would be pleasant. Thomas Nagel explored this in What Is It Like to Be a Bat? He showed that subjective experience is real and matters, that gazelle feels its death, that mouse experiences true terror. These aren't robots, they're conscious beings trapped in a system that never asked if they wanted to play. Paul Thagard, cognitive scientist, has documented that many animals likely experience suffering similar to humans. They have the neural architecture, the stress hormones, the behavioral patterns of fear and pain. Nature gave them the capacity to suffer, and then made suffering mandatory. The uncomfortable question, so here's where we get really uncomfortable. Peter Singer, in Practical Ethics, forces us to ask, if we care about suffering, why do we only care about human suffering? Or even just the suffering of cute animals? Shouldn't all conscious suffering matter equally? And if it does, what do we do with the fact that nature produces more suffering in a single day than humans could cause in years? Oscar Horta and other philosophers in the field of wild animal suffering ethics argue we couldn't just look away. They suggest we might have moral obligations to reduce suffering in nature itself through careful intervention, ecological engineering, even rethinking conservation. But others push back. Holmes Rolston III argues that predation has ecological value, that we shouldn't judge nature by human moral standards, that struggle and death are part of something bigger. Yet here's the question that haunts me. Tell that to the animal being eaten alive. Does the bigger picture comfort them as teeth close around their throat? The Existential Weight, Albert Camus, wrote that the only serious philosophical question is whether life is worth living. He meant human life. But what about the life of prey animals? David Pearce, philosopher and founder of the Abolitionist Project, dreams of using biotechnology to eliminate suffering, entirely, even re-engineering predators to survive without killing. It sounds like science fiction, but he asks, why shouldn't we? If we could end this torture chamber, wouldn't we be morally obligated to try? But here's what keeps me up at night. Even if we could eliminate predation, what about disease? Starvation? Parasites that eat animals from the inside out? Natural disasters? The suffering goes far beyond teeth and claws. Jeff McMahon, in The Meat Eaters, even questions whether predators have a right to exist if their existence requires constant torture of prey. It's a question so uncomfortable most people refuse to even consider it. what this means for us. So what do we do with this knowledge? Some choose Buddhism's path, acknowledging suffering is inherent to existence and seeking liberation from the cycle entirely. Others choose effective altruism, trying to reduce suffering wherever possible, including in nature. Some find meaning despite it all. Nietzsche said that those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. Maybe meaning isn't about eliminating suffering, but about how we respond to it. But here's what I can't shake. Right now, as I speak these words, an animal is experiencing the worst moment of its existence, and another, and another. An endless cascade of terror playing out in forests, oceans, and skies. The universe doesn't care. Evolution doesn't care. Nature is neither cruel nor kind, it simply is, but we care. And that might be the only thing that matters. Closing: the next time you see a nature documentary celebrating the circle of life, remember, there's another circle we don't see. The circle of screaming, the circle of fear, the circle of creatures who never wanted to exist in a world designed for their suffering. I'm not here to give you answers. I'm here to ask. Now that you know, what will you do with that knowledge? Will you look away, back to the comforting illusion that nature is beautiful? Or will you sit with this discomfort and let it change you? Because the prey can't look away. They never could.